goodness. Hey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, or whenever you're catching this video. So today is pork and sauerkraut. You gotta have pork on New Year's, right? Or so the legends go, or wives' tales, or whatever. I'm going to actually try something different this year, guys. I am usually like the girl that's like, throw it all in the slow cooker, let it do its thing, and I don't mind it, but the family's always like, meh. Because I was always like, I don't want to be bothered with all that searing nonsense. But then I found this recipe online, and I saw some of you sharing ideas, and man, it just looks so good. So I thought, let's do this. Let's do this! So we're gonna try it. And guys, look, it's like, I've been eating like Christmas cookies nonstop, and so I took a bold move today, a very bold move. Look, I'm wearing jeans, and these are fresh washed jeans. I did have to do a little shimming, but I'm just saying, maybe it's a good goal for this year to not live in sweatpants like most of us maybe we're doing in 2020. Just a thought, you know. But I don't know. Maybe I'll be going back for the leggings after we eat this with our mashed potatoes, and there is a peanut butter pie in the refrigerator. So Happy New Year. So I've got my pork roast. This is roughly 4 pounds. I bought a big one from Wegmans because it was on for such a great deal, and I whacked it in half. I'm gonna freeze the other half for a later date. So the first thing I gotta do, apparently, is dry it off. We've gotta pat it dry. So we're gonna get our fancy examination gloves. These were the only ones Sam's Club had that I liked. I love just the brightness of them. It really makes me look professional, don't you think? So we're gonna pat this sucker dry here. So we're just gonna take it, patty pat, pat, pat. And I know I've read, you know, that this gets you a really good sear. You know, you're not gonna be having so much of that steam coming off, yada yada yada. So we're just gonna give them a good pat, okay? That's why I like this cutting board. We have this wood cutting board. It's got all these wells. Otherwise, all this nasty, gross juice would be running onto my kitchen floor. I'm sure the dogs would love that, but I would be not having that. Okay, wait. We gotta get a little bit more paper towel here. I just want to make sure. I do this right because this is the first time I'm doing it this way, guys. So we'll see here. Okay, so we're giving them right, and I have to get this going because Mama Duke wants to make bread today because we only have 1 loaf left in the freezer. And she is pretty sure that it's good luck if you bake bread on New Year's. I don't know. Okay, so he is all patted dry. He's been given the love. Okay, patty pat. There. Now, it said to sprinkle with salt and pepper. I'm actually going to go ahead and get my oil going. I'm going to sear it off in the wok because I felt like this would be a good searing pan, right? I don't know. If nothing else, I like the size of it. So the recipe called for smoked paprika. I don't own smoked paprika. I own like Spice Classics paprika. I'm pretty sure this came from Mom's too. No joke. So it might be a few years old, but whatever. It's paprika, okay? I know, right, Megan? You should have saw the whole piece. It was huge because Wegmans had such a good deal. Okay, so first, we're gonna do, now remember when you do your salt and pepper, do it high, okay? If you do it really low, you're just only gonna get little shots of your spices. The higher you go, the more even your distribution, okay? So there we go. Love that. Okay, now we'll do our unsmoked paprika. If you have smoked, that'd be awesome. What's the difference? I'm assuming, do they like cook the paprika to smoke it? Do they put it into a smoker to smoke it? I don't know. I've never owned smoked paprika. Boom, boom, boom. Does that look good? I think that looks fine. Okay, so now we're gonna give them a little flip. Ditch that glove. Get the next glove. Because I hate touching raw meat. Anyone else like that? Just saying. Okay, now up like this. More salt. We want to have that good flavor, and we want to get that good crust on the outside. There we go. I'm sure you could do other spices if you really want. I saw another recipe where they did a Thai seasoning. I'm sure that's delightful. I told Mama Duke about that, and she just gave me like the side eye, like, what? No. Good? I think it looks good. I feel like this little end that I cut here, though, I need to like, there, give them a little love. There. Okay. So he's ready. Pan is preheated. You gotta have this good and hot, guys. Okay, if you try putting any kind of meat in a cold pan, not gonna do it for you, okay? So he's good and hot. We have the oil. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it roughly 5 to 8 minutes aside. We don't wanna cook this meat through whatsoever. We're just looking to get a good crust, okay? We really want this to still be raw in the middle. So I'm probably gonna do roughly air more on that 5 minutes aside. We'll see, okay? So I'm just gonna zhuzh that oil around a little bit. Here we go, come on. I feel like I should name it, it's so big. What should we name it, Hank? There you go, Hank. Okay, Hank's in the cooker. Let me set for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of this nastiness. Bingo. Okay, so now we're gonna prep our pan for the pork. I'm gonna do this guy. This is one of our new enamel pieces. I'm not gonna lie, I really haven't used them, right? I tried some of our others, love them, but yeah, I haven't. So I was like, hey, this would be perfect, right? I've got the lid. The recipe says you gotta have a good tight-fitting lid because you want to keep all that moisture in there. So it's like, this will be perfect. So we'll set the lid over here. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna throw our sauerkraut in. And it calls for 1 cup of juice. The gal on the blog was very adamant, you have at least 1 cup of juice. So she said, you can use the juice from the sauerkraut, you can do a cup of water. I did see some other recipes where they do a cup of cider or apple juice. I love sauerkraut, so I'm gonna use the juice, okay? Use your discretion, okay? So she said at least 1 cup. And what I did is I just put my sauerkraut in here. You can see it's still draining a little. And we have about 1.25 cups. I don't know if you can see there, right? And it's still draining, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna pour most, you know, there. Because I see this is still draining a little, so I'm gonna leave some of that in there because I don't want it to be like a total soupy mess when it cooks. I'm gonna try to stick to the recipe, maybe. So we're gonna just dump our sauerkraut. I didn't rinse it. That's, again, your discretion. I read all kinds of articles on that. Some people are very pro rinsing. Some are like, don't you touch that beautiful sauerkraut. Whatever. I'm curious if anybody out there like do you make your homemade sauerkraut? I don't know if I know any friends that make homemade sauerkraut. I don't know. Post below. Oh, Heidi is saying to add a can of beer. Heidi, when I first looked, it kind of from here, it looked like an ear. That was weird. Okay. So we've got that. Now what we need to do is put in she said 1 chopped yellow onion and a sweet apple, like a gala or something like that. So I have in here my onion and I have a portion of my apple. Let's just chop that down. She said, the girl in the blog, she said that she does not like onion, but she says, so what she does is she really chops hers fine and it like dissolves in the recipe. And she said you really, really, really need it in this recipe because it just adds to the flavor. It almost gets like, makes things like a buttery taste. I don't know. That's what she said. So I figured if someone who hates onions said to still make sure it's in, we're going to still make sure it's in. Okay?
Cooking.
We're doing our pork and sauerkraut. I know. It's going to be delicious. So we're just going to.
I smelled it from the living room.
Oh, I bet you did smell that sauerkraut. That's going to permeate the whole house. That's why Mom needs to bake bread today to then cover that smell. Just saying. Okay, let's do the rest of our apple. Okay. Wonderful. That's going to go right on top. Here we go. There. Zhuzh that around. So again, if you just tuned in, we put a cup of liquid. I did the cup of liquid from the sauerkraut. We have our sauerkraut, and now I just chopped a yellow onion and a sweet apple all together. So if you can see, boom, it's right there. And our beautiful enameled cast iron Dutch oven. And now we need 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And here's the thing, we are just getting off the holidays. We've gone through brown sugar. I think we've gone through about 8 bags so far. So you will not see a brown sugar keeper in here because I literally just opened this a few days ago. But we'll end up using this up today, and then the next bag we'll definitely have a brown sugar keeper because we typically don't go through it that fast other times of the year. So half a cup. Come on, yo. And we're just gonna kind of put that all around. You know, I feel like I'm just gonna dump and give it a stir, right? Let's do that. That'll, I think, get it more even. She says that cuts through the sauerkrautiness, right? So you get that all in there. And then, guys, what's gonna happen? How much time? Oh, we only have about 20 or so seconds left on that timer. We're gonna flip this guy. I'll do him another 5 minutes on the other side. I want to show it to you. And then I will nestle him. That's the word she used, nestle it. Nestle your pork roast down in to that pork and sauerkraut. Well, Uncle Ken just used the Splenda brown sugar, yeah, not? Okay, there's always ways to get around things, right? We live in 2021 now. So, sorry, because I just saw diabetic sugar not good. Or leave it out. Who cares? I mean, just tweak it, right? I always love it when I say things and people are like, well, you know, I can't have this. I'm like, well, then you tweak it. Hello, yeah. So, we're going to nestle that pork roast down in there. It's going to go into the oven. Your oven's only 325. It's going to go for about 2 hours, folks. Okay, so that's where you're just going to let the oven do the love, okay? You want your pork roast to be about 145 to 150, and then you got to make sure you let it rest for at least 15 minutes. You cut into it right away, you're going to be losing so much juice it's not funny. So let's check on him, okay? Oh my word, look at how beautiful. Okay, now that was worth it. That's the money shot right there. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, give me a second, folks, while I set my timer again. There we go. That's making me drool already. So what I'll do, guys, is after I nestle the pork roast down into the sauerkraut, I will just go ahead and I'll take our thermometer. I'll take the probe part. I don't know if you guys see. I'll pop it into the pork roast. So like it's going to be in like so. See the wire? And then lid will go on. This whole vessel will go in my oven, and this has a magnet. This will just go on the front of my oven, and at any given time, I don't know if you can see, it'll give me an instant read on where my pork roast is at. So as soon as it hits between that 145, I'll probably pull it out at 148 because it'll go up a few more notches when it's out of the oven. And then I'll just let it hang. I'll let it hang, you know, for that 15 minutes, probably more like 20 or 25 to give it a good rest. And then while that's resting, I'll whip up some amazing mashed potatoes, or if you want, you could do some pureed cauliflower or sweet potato. I don't know, you know. I know the one, was it Sarah said they do the dumplings. I want to still try that. I think that'd be delicious. There's, you know, whatever sides you like, mac and cheese. I mean, right? We are mashed potatoes though with our pork. Just saying. Just saying. Still debating on maybe a corn casserole. Haven't made that in a while. So guys, we'll see what happens. It's already smelling delicious here. And I hope that inspired you to get in the kitchen. And maybe you're thinking, well, gee whiz, now I need to run to the grocery store real quick, you know, get a pork roast and try this myself. I mean, who knows? But I just kind of wanted to go live. I know I normally don't do things on the weekend, but I thought, what fun to share some New Year's Day activity with all of you. And you know, give you some fun little tips and share something that I'm doing for the first time. I mean, this is literally the first time I'm not doing the pork and sauerkraut in a crock pot. So here's hoping. Okay, guys, have a great, oh, yeah, Uncle Kenny's saying it's raining there. Guys, yeah, do be safe. It hasn't started here, but they're saying we're supposed to get some nasty ice later today. So if that is happening in your area, you know, just hunker down at home if you can. If you have to go out, if you're one of our essential people, you know, doctors, nurses, and what have you, please be safe. Please be safe. Or maybe just get lost and end up at our house, and I will feed you pork and sauerkraut. Okay? So, and there's my little Cora. Cora, we have to see, like, each other's faces this year because I miss you so much. Okay, my friends. Oh, Darnetta, you cannot eat chicken on New Year's. Didn't you know what they say? I just learned this, I think, for the first time, 3 years ago. what is it? You don't eat chicken on New Year's because then you're scratching all year for money. So it's just a wives' tale, but so funny. Okay, guys, have a great New Year's. Love you all. I need to go check on my pork roast, get it nestled in here, and get it into the oven so Mama Duke can start whipping up her bread. Okay? Have a good one. Happy New Year's.